Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Tuesday, Thursday, whatever day you're watching this on. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So, everything in my room has changed. I'm so sorry if that's distracting, but this is Penelope. Isn't she beautiful? I think she's so cute and she's hanging from the ceiling like how lit. Okay, also that's my altar. If that bothers you, I'm so sorry about it. I'm awakened and I'm proud. Today we're going back to, not storytelling, I'm going back to dream telling, which is one of you guys' favorite videos to watch for some weird reason. Maybe my dreams are fascinating, maybe they're just insane. That's a good word to describe it. So I actually write down my dreams in this journal. I'll show you what it looks like. This is my new journal, if you've seen my journal videos. But this one is dedicated to only dreams because I've read like some study that says it's healthier to write them down because then you see the reoccurring parts and what you really need to fix. And if you are a psych major or you're just really fascinated by it, you know that Freud actually believed that dreams were important and that your real self was you when you were unconscious. So it's good to write them down. I recommend you do. If you don't, I don't care. I'm going to talk about it, but if I look down at my journal, that is why, because I wrote it down. And it is, I think, one of the most intense dreams I've had. And if you've seen, I think it was my Weird Ass Dream Part 3, or I Spoke to Demons Part 3. It's like that. Very, very intense and cynical and just overall upsetting. But you guys asked for these kinds of videos, and I'm going to get up a little higher so that I'm not so short. And yeah, so I will show you the picture at the end because there is a picture that is kind of important. But besides that, I'm just going to go ahead and try to describe the dream the best I can. I just burped, I'm so sorry. Okay, so this dream begins with me walking home, which is a very common thing for me because I ride the bus, but the bus to my school is the only one in my neighborhood, and I live in a gigantic neighborhood. But this is because I transferred to my school. I'm really supposed to go to like a rich white school, but I don't, and I go to the school I go to instead, which I'm not going to name for privacy reasons, but there is only one school bus, so I have to walk a mile there. And that normally takes me like 25 minutes. So it is a very long walk, completely alone, every single day, twice a day. And in the fall and winter times, by the time I get home, it's dark because the sun starts to set so much earlier, and I don't get home until like 5:30 and then begin my walk. You understand where I'm going? Okay, so I'm walking home and the sun begins to start setting. So it's getting really dark out of nowhere, and it's only 5:30. And then what else did I write in here? And the sky is this very peculiar color, and I remember that so well because even in my dream, I felt like I stared at it for 10 minutes and just let time pass by as I saw the colors fade into one another. And I know that's so weird, but I felt like the time go by and I saw the difference in the shades and sunsets. But it wasn't like yellows and orange, it was blood, red, and pink. Like, it had been bleeding, like it had been shot, like, oh, I don't know how to describe it, but it was very inspirational and beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so I'm walking home, and it's the normal path I take, so it's like, you turn left, you turn right, you turn another left, and another left, and another left, and it keeps going and keeps going, but for one part of the walk, it is all trees. There is like this little tiny forest near my house that I have to pass every single day. And in that forest, I have talked about it, is a cemetery. And this cemetery is in the middle of my neighborhood. Nobody knows why, but it's there. So we're walking, well, I'm walking, I don't know. So I'm walking home, walking through this path, and all of a sudden, it felt like I'd gotten lost, but I knew where I was. You know what I mean? Like, things had moved, but I knew where I was. I knew I was going in the right direction, but everything else around me had changed. So I start questioning myself, and I was like, did I take the wrong turn? But then I realized the trees are all the same. I have to keep going straight, but time had gone by, like more time than usual. It felt like instead of 20 minutes, an hour had gone by, and I was like, huh, I did something wrong. Like, something's not all right here. But I continue walking, and then all of a sudden, where my house is supposed to be, there's just trees, like an abundance of them, like woods, like a fucking forest. And I'm like, where's my house? Like, I'm trying to go into my house, take a nap, and avoid the world, But where is it at though? Where is my house? So instead of being a normal person, like a rational person, but I'm an irrational, irresponsible little human, sorry, alien, I walk into the forest thinking maybe somehow I would find my house in this forest that was not there before. So I get into the forest and everything kind of just went blurry. Like I remember everything was like slow mode, like it became really slow, and I kind of distanced myself from everything, like from the world. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been in a room full of chemicals like bleach, and you know how you get really dizzy and you kind of just like have that out of body moment, or maybe that's just me. Or if you are a stoner, you would know this feeling. When you, have you ever, I should not be admitting to myself, but if you've ever done acid, it's that like feeling of when you're leaving the dimensions of the real world and you're starting to trip. It was like that. Like I felt everything move away from me, and then everything went dark. And after everything went dark, I stopped breathing and I was hyperventilating, which was scary because I hate hyperventilating, and it was kind of like a panic attack moment. But then everything goes back, like somebody takes this mask off me like randomly, and I start looking around and I'm tied up in the middle of trees. Like there's just a circle of trees around me. And then I'm in the middle, tied up like this, and I'm looking around scared, and then I see that there's a rag on the floor in a bag, which was put over my head, which is why everything had gone dark and blurry. And I'm pretty sure the towel had chloroform on it. So that explains why I passed out. But I wake up, I'm tied up, and I look and I find 3 members of my covenant. And if you do not know this, yes, I am part of a covenant because I am a real Wiccan. And there's 3 members of them. And here's the thing that's kind of important. I've never met these people in real life. Can't. I live in America. These people live in the UK. It is physically impossible for me to meet them right now. But I could distinguish their face. And I knew it was them. I just knew it. And they were wearing these very odd outfits. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but they had like cloaks on, like these black cloaks, and then they were like hunched down so that I couldn't see them, like their faces, but I still knew who they were. And they were just walking around me, and I was real scared. But then out of nowhere, so like these people were dressed weird, I see the most terrifying thing of my life. And this is where it does get a little gruesome. So if you want to exit the video now, you've heard enough, I understand. So I'm just gonna name them with their real names. I don't have time to make up fake names because they're not really relevant to the story. It's just people who have been in my life that just showed up. But I see 5 of my old, closest, best friends, like who are my best friends or aren't my best friends anymore. And some of them include one of my old friends, Alicia, my friend Danny, my friend Armani, my friend Jet, and my friend Ricky. And all of these people have at one point been the closest friend I've ever had. The person I've been able to cry my heart out to, you know? That I have this bond that cannot be broken because we have so much empathy towards each other that we've just created this lace that, you know, we're just so close, and it hurt. And because my dreams feel so real, I honestly thought this was real. But I see 5 of my friends, and I see that they're passed out, by the way. They do not look conscious. But they have a noose on their neck, but it's not being hung yet. It's just around them, and they're standing near these trees, like the circle of them. And out of nowhere, I see more members of the Covenant come, and they hang all 5 of my friends. And yeah, that's probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my dreams. All 5 of my close friends being hung, and I'm in the center of it. But it gets worse, so much worse. So after they're hung, I start screaming because I'm furious, and my body lights up in flames. And you know what these people do instead of putting me out? What they do is they like grab the bodies and they start swinging them at me. And after they swing them at me, they purposely throw them at other trees so that they get stuck in them, and they create a design. And can you just guess what that design is? They create the Star of Wicca, which is a star, obviously. But after they make the star, because I'm burning, I start lighting the star on fire. And it's weird because I could see it like from a third person like point of view, and then I would go back to it, and I remember I just started crying and screaming like a crazy person because I just seen all of this, and I could see their bodies just melting off of them, and it was disgusting. But finally they decided that they've had their fun, and you know what they do to put me out? They get a bucket full of blood that had been drained out of my most loved person in the circle, who I will not name, and they just pour it over me like it's nothing. So I'm drenched in blood. There's a symbol above me burning, and then I see the faces of my members staring at me, smiling. And after that, I woke up. And I'm gonna show you the symbol that I saw because I feel like that might be important. So this is what it is. I know it's a crappy drawing, but there's just a circle of trees, then there's these like bricks around us, and then there's the circle, and in the middle of it was me. And the reason for all of this happening in my dream was because of me. And now we're gonna go on to the real life part of this. So after I had this dream, I freaked out. I cried because I'm a little baby, and I told most of the people who were in it about it, and if they didn't, hi, I hope you aren't freaked out by me. I hope this isn't a vision. I hope it's just a nightmare. And then I decided I wanted to read tea. Like, I felt like I had to. It wasn't something I wanted to do at this point. I felt like I had to read my tea leaves. So that's what I did. I got home and I was like, I'm going to read my tea leaves as soon as I can. I'll read them. But I couldn't. Everything was just happening and I just couldn't. And I remember I just got really mad at myself because all these paranormal things were happening, and it's not paranormal anymore. It's like, I know who's doing them. I know they're just like signs telling me what to do. But then, and it got to be really late at night, and I'm telling my sister about it. I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking pissed off. Like, these dreams are just getting too real and too sinister. I can't fucking do it. And she's like, maybe you should just read your tea. And I was like, I know I have to read my tea. I know I have to. I know it's like a sign. And I'd been hearing about tea all day. My mom even bought me it, which was weird because she doesn't know I do this kind of stuff. And then I was cleaning my room because I felt like that was that was my priority over reading tea. And then I remember I lifted my bed sheets, and I hadn't slept in my bed in a week because I'd just gotten back from New York. And under it is just all these tea leaves. And I was so mad because that is the hardest thing to clean up, because if you sweat, all of that leaks and you stain your white sheets. So I was real mad about it. And I was like, you know what? That's the last straw. Fine, I'll fucking read them. I'll do it. So that's what I did. I stopped cleaning, I boiled some tea, and then I sat there and I relaxed, cleared my mind, and I read my tea. And can you just guess what I saw? I also wrote that part down because I felt like it was important. So I put tea leaf reading number 4. I saw witches on brooms flying towards a dead body. Oh, and it was specifically a very tall man. Then I saw the symbol of life, which is a tree, in the center of it. And then I saw a woman with a very strong, like, masculine face with no hair smiling at me. And it was one of the scariest things I've ever seen because it was the face of my lead covenant member. So if you're watching this, why? Like, what did I do? What did my friends do to you? But if it's all just me being crazy, then I hope this was remotely entertaining, and I will see you next week. So yeah, have a fun weekend. Have a fun week. I hope school's not too bad. I'll see you soon. Bye.